just a little bit of sparkle. But I definitely like Rowan better than I liked Hunt. Never took it that seriously. Not going the way that I wanted it to. A man is not going to like take me down. Keep on trucking. What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor if you're new here, and I thought today it would be fun to do a little like Q&A while we do my makeup kind of thing. So I've got several new people around here, so I thought it'd be fun to do just a little bit of like an introductory kind of video so you can get to know me a little bit better. I don't typically do like a sit and chat kind of vlog. I generally do more like come do things with me kind of things, but I wanted to share kind of my updated makeup routine and beauty routine for the summertime, and I thought it'd be more fun if we did that than you just sit here and listen to me talk, so that's what we're gonna do. So I put up on my Instagram story a little question box for you guys to ask me any questions, and I had several people write in and ask me some questions for me to answer, so that's what we're doing. If you are interested in interacting with my content and being a part of videos like this in the future, make sure to follow me over on my Instagram. I typically ask things on my story and that kind of thing, so if you want to be able to have some input, make sure to go over there. So I'm kind of gonna do a dual kind of thing today where I'll show you kind of the products that I use, and then I'll answer questions as I'm like actually doing my makeup. I've already done this step. This is an antimicrobial hypochloric acid spray. It's just like the Tower 28 spray that has kind of gone viral. It's good for killing bacteria on your skin that might cause your acne, so you just spray this on your face and then you let it sit for like 30 minutes. So I've already done that so that I can go ahead with the rest of my routine. So I got this off Amazon. It literally was like, I want to say like $12 for 8 fluid ounces. The Tower 28 one is like $17 for like 1 ounce. So when the ingredients are basically the same, I thought that this was better. So this is what I start my routine with. And then lately I've been going in with this LANEIGE Cream Skin. It's like a milky peptide toner moisturizer kind of product. It's very similar to the Rhode peptide glazing fluid, but I saw a TikToker and he was like an esthetician and reviewing a bunch of these products, and he said that this one was like his very favorite of all of the like glazing milky toner products. And it really is very moisturizing. I really like it a lot. I haven't tried the Rhode one. I haven't made an order to get it, but he said he liked this one the best, and I feel like the Rhode one was like 6 or 7 on the list, and this was number 1. So I just got this off Amazon. If you're interested in ordering any of these products, I will make sure to have them linked either in my Amazon storefront or in my LTK, so make sure to check both of those links out for these products. So now that we kind of have like the base, a moisturized base going on, I typically will go in with this like e.l.f. Halo Glow product. This just really gives a good base. It's a good glow. It kind of just like evens out my skin tone a little bit, so I like to go in with this. I think that this is a dupe for maybe one of the Charlotte Tilbury products, but I have watched several influencers talk about how they like this product just as good as the Charlotte Tilbury one, so it is a much better price point. And then I like this Merit Beauty buffing brush just to go ahead and like pat all of that in. So I thought a good question to start off with was somebody saying that they are new here, so they don't really know anything about me, but they really enjoy my content. So hey, and thank you so much. So I guess I'll kind of give you a little overview. I am 28. I live in Columbus, Ohio right now with my husband. We have 6 cats right now. It started out we had 2 cats. I had a cat and he had a cat, and then we got married, so we had 2 cats, but we just took in an outdoor cat kind of in like March-ish. We knew she was pregnant, brought her kind of inside. She had her babies. We fell in love with them as we brought them inside to take care of them. We put out some feelers to see if anybody wanted any of them. Nobody really was ready to commit, and so now we have her 4 cats, and we love them all so much. So we do have 6 cats. Am I living out my fantasy of being a cat lady? Yes, I am. Did Kevin encourage me to keep them? Probably more than I just wanted them. Yes, he did. So it definitely has been a joint effort in our house. So after we have the glowy base, which I think just looks very, very nice, I go in with this Merit Beauty Minimalist stick. I think I use the shade Sand. It's just like a good tan shade for my face. And I will put this kind of more like a concealer. It's like a concealer foundation mix kind of product, but I think the coverage is really, really good. It's really buildable, and so it's easy to use. You can make it really light coverage, really heavy coverage, whatever you're wanting. So continuing on with a little about me, I also got a question asking whether or not this is like my job now. And kind of, like, I have been doing more like UGC content for brands. Basically, that means you are making product placement videos for brands to be using in their marketing, and they pay you to make videos with their products. They often will send you products for free to make content for that, and so that's kind of what I've been doing more job-wise. And then I also am working on growing this channel, growing my other like personal social media channels, and hopefully as those grow they will become more monetarily beneficial. But for right now, I'm just really enjoying creating and sharing content and sharing things that I love, and I love getting to be creative, and now I'm kind of running a small business, working with brands and companies and negotiating contracts and providing deliverables on time and that kind of thing. So this is kind of more what I am doing for my full-time work. If you knew me before like 2023, I guess probably, you might have known the version of me that was working to become a chiropractor. So in March of 2022, right after my 26th birthday, I graduated from chiropractic school. So I do have my Doctor of Chiropractic degree. I am a Doctor of Chiropractic. I went to school in Georgia, moved back to Ohio, moved to Columbus at that point, and was planning on opening my own office, and so was working towards that through the end of my schooling and working towards that after I graduated. My plan was to become a chiropractor more focused on like pregnant care, kids care, family care, perinatal care, that kind of thing. And so I had started working on the steps to kind of start that office process, all the while waiting for my chiropractic license to go through and become valid in the state of Ohio. And so as I was waiting for that to come through, I had lots of free time to kind of just work on fixing up our house, and I started doing some more like fun content-y kind of things at that point. I really got into TikTok like during the pandemic, like everybody else, but never took it that seriously, and so with my more free time I just started doing that more seriously. Next I'm taking the same Merit stick but in the shade Tiger Eye, and this is what I use as like my bronzer color, and so I'll do my contour more with this. So like I was saying, I was kind of working toward that. I was kind of struggling, running through some hurdles, just things that I didn't feel like I should be experiencing. I worked at another office as an associate for a while, and truthfully I just didn't feel like they let me practice the way that I wanted to. I was not seeing the clientele that I wanted to, just overall like not the experience that I was hoping to have, and so stopped working there. And during this time I felt like I was having more success doing social media, and so at the turn of the new year in 2023 I decided to kind of go more full in with social media, and so I started posting a little bit more frequently on my TikTok, using Instagram more like I was an influencer even though I wasn't. And then kind of, I feel like March-ish, I started getting some brands reach out to me to do more like UGC content for them. And so that kind of just built and built, I decided I liked doing that a lot more. I kind of started getting anxious around the idea of doing chiropractic full time, and so kind of just decided that I was gonna let chiropractic take a back seat and more just focus on doing content creation. I started my YouTube channel back in May and kind of felt like it started growing really fast. Like I started in May and was monetized by September, and I feel like that was pretty good. I haven't had quite the growth that I feel like I wanted to since then, but people say that YouTube growth is really hard, so that's what I'm sticking with and staying consistent because I really do like it. It really brings me a lot of joy. It really brings me that like creative, it fulfills that creative need for me. I like just being able to share my life and come up with new things to do every week and that kind of thing. So I really love it. I really like making videos for brands and getting to be creative with products and that kind of thing. So I really like what I'm doing right now, even though that was not my plan really ever. So next I'm going in with a blush, and I have several blushes that I really love. So I started out honestly using just the Rare Beauty like soft pinch blushes, but then I saw on TikTok that these e.l.f. blushes, they are the Camo Liquid Blush, is like a good dupe for those, and I really like them. I think they're really pigmented, really beautiful, but my tried and true is always just this Saie Beauty blush. It's like the perfect peachy tone for my skin tone, and so I think that's what I'm gonna use today. And I've really been loving like the Sabrina Carpenter blush where it's like on the cheeks but all the way like up as well, so that is what we are gonna do. So the next question is, how did you and Kevin meet and start dating? So Kevin and I met through our church group in college. It was both of our last years of college, but Kevin was going for a 5th year and it was my 4th year. And the way that our church group kind of does like small groups is based off of where you kind of live on campus. And so we were both on a South Campus, off-campus living kind of team, and I had just joined that team after doing like a summer leadership program through our church in Colorado and wanted to kind of meet some new people, so I switched teams, and that's how we met. We met at kind of like a bowling event that our team was doing, is like a kind of like get to know you at the beginning of the year kind of thing. And so we got to know each other through that. I got my cat Renly in September of that year, and he had like slid into my DMs about my cat, and then we started talking, and then one thing led to another and we started texting, and that's how we first kind of started talking and liked each other, started dating. Life has progressed. Now we're married with 6 cats. So I like to set my liquid blush with more of a powder blush, and I have been loving these Giorgio Armani blushes. As you can see, I've used this one like to death. Pan all the way there. I'm gonna have to get more soon, but I'm gonna keep using it until I can't use it anymore. These were actually like my first like I made it brand deal kind of thing. They reached out to me in an email and I was like, you're kidding, Armani wants me to do something for them? So that was a really good highlight, and the quality of these products are spectacular. The next question is, where do you get your clothes? Your style is always on point. First of all, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I have always kind of loved fashion and style and that kind of thing. Not quite like high fashion. That kind of came as I've gotten older, being interested in that more. But I have always loved following styles and trends and that kind of thing. So I kind of get my clothes all over the place, from thrifting things to just getting things at like Garage or American Eagle or Urban Outfitters, Free People, Anthropologie, Zara, H&M, like the stores that you can find at the mall kind of thing. But I also really like to order things from Princess Polly, Pepper Mayo. I'm a Target girly. So kind of all over the place, but you can make sure to check out my LTK down in my description, and I've got lots of different outfits and that kind of thing, and I'm always updating that, so you can find any links there, or you can request links and I will make sure to link anything that I can for you. Next up in my routine, I do my eyelashes because honestly I'm awful at doing mascara and it always ends up all over my lid, all over underneath, so I like to do that, layer it up, get all of the excess off, and then do an eye look, and then put a little bit of mascara after I do a powder and that kind of thing. I don't know how people do mascara cleanly, because that's not me and that's never been my experience. So first we're curling. The next question is, how is your summer reading going? And have you always loved to read? Which I like both of these questions because I have always loved to read. I have always been a little reader girl. I used to like carry books around in middle school and read them as we were walking from class to class kind of thing. I definitely embraced that like little nerd book girl kind of thing. I'm gonna be using my very favorite and only mascara I will ever use, which is the Honest Beauty mascara. Other mascaras just really irritate my eyes, and this is like such a clean product. It's got a lash primer and then the actual mascara over it, but I feel like it just like keeps my lashes lifted, separated, looking thick without looking like spidery. I love this product. So if you watched my Setting the Vibes for Summer video, you would have seen that I came up with this whole like summer reading list that I wanted to do. And I honestly have really enjoyed a lot of the books that I have read on there already. I've already made it through 5 books as of when this video is being filmed. I actually think that I want to do like a little recap at the end of the summer of like all the books that I read and just kind of talking through them and giving my opinions on them. So if you're interested in seeing that kind of content, make sure to subscribe to my page and turn on post notifications so you can be notified when that's going up. I also might do a little mini kind of thing over on my TikTok. Not really sure what I want to create yet, so if you're interested in more like of a long form video, make sure to let me know of that in my comments. But it has been a very like lighthearted summer rom-com kind of summer. I have read 5 just like very lighthearted books. I've got a little ranking of 1 to 5 so far. I'm trying to rank all of them, but my 5 out of 5 book that I've had so far is The Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I thought that book was so good. The premise was good, the tension was good, the spice was there without being too spicy. Like, it was like a perfect book for me. And with it being the beginning of July, I am very encouraged by the fact that I've already read 5 out of my 8 summer books. Kevin and I have not started our ACOTAR reading journey yet. I want to get on that soon. I'm hoping that when we go to the beach with my family, we can be doing that a little bit more, so hopefully that will be coming soon. The next question is, do you want to stay where you live now? And I feel like this is kind of a hard question for me to answer. Truthfully, it's very loaded. It's very like pros and cons. We are constantly weighing the pros and cons of living where we are living. So we have a community of friends that we really enjoy spending time with, but it's also the type of thing that like as we get older, I feel like it gets harder and harder to actually be spending time with friends. And I don't want to be staying in one place because I feel comfortable. We originally moved to Columbus so we could be closer to my family. But again, I don't necessarily know if I feel like Columbus is fulfilling all of our needs. We moved from Atlanta, and Atlanta is just like a lot bigger of a city, a lot more to do, a better restaurant scene, a better weather scene, truthfully. And so we kind of feel like maybe we would like to move and go somewhere just more fun, somewhere where we can really enjoy kind of the end of our 20s, beginning of our 30s kind of thing. And moving is the type of thing that like you could move, hate it, and then move somewhere else. It doesn't have to be a permanent thing, but at the same time, we do like living in Ohio because it's got the 4 seasons. We liked being in Columbus for Ohio State football season. So there definitely are a lot of pros and cons to being in Ohio itself, but I think I'm really worried about just staying here because it's what I feel comfortable with, when I do feel the desire kind of to like just try something new. I don't know. So the next two questions kind of go hand in hand. The first one is the favorite place that you have already been to, and then the next one is your top 3 places you want to visit next. And while we talk about this, we're gonna start with my eyeshadow. So I've been using kind of a mixture of palettes. So these are the two that I'm gonna be using today. This one is the Revolution Beauty palette, and I've been using it quite frequently, as you can tell, but I really love just this like little tan color as like a base. So we're gonna do that all over the lid. So my favorite place that we've already been to probably was the trip that we took to France last summer. I thought it was just so much fun. We got to spend like nearly 2 weeks over there. We started with just like a short kind of like day trip in New York, which is always fun. And then we had like 36 hours in Paris. We took a train down and spent a couple days with my aunt and uncle that live in Toulouse, which was really fun. And then we took a train over to Nice and stayed in Nice. And then we did like little day trips to Aix and Villefranche-sur-Mer and Menton and Monaco, and just it was the best. It was like true European summer, European girl summer kind of thing. It was just lots of Aperol spritzes, lots of pizza, lots of pasta, lots of beautiful beach time, and like those are some of my very favorite things, and it was just so fun. I can't wait to get back to Europe. Next, I've just been loving this like Morphe palette. I just got it at Ulta, but it's got the most beautiful like shimmery fun shades. So I think today I'm gonna go in with this shade here. It's a little bit more of like a goldy sparkly color, which feels like the vibe today with the peach on my cheeks. And a little bit of this goes a long way, so I don't have to do too much. I feel like the top 3 places I want to travel next is kind of hard. Right now, I feel like lots of the cool influencer girls are going to Mallorca, Spain, and it's so beautiful. It gives me like the same vibes as like the French Riviera, but in Spain, and we love tapas. I love me a good sangria. I love me. It was like sandy beaches with like big rocks that you can sit on, so like looks very European, which I love. So I definitely think that has to go on the list. To finish out my eyeshadow, I'm just gonna go in with this little champagne-y color and put it right under my brow bone and then in the corner of my eye for a little highlight. Second on my places to travel, honestly, is probably Italy. I have not been to Italy yet. We were in Menton, which is the last city in France before you get to Italy, and it felt very Italian, but Kevin has gone to Italy and said that there are definitely some differences, and I would just love to get to like explore Rome and Venice and see the Tower of Pisa and go down to the Amalfi Coast and that kind of thing. I'd love to see Lake Como. There are just lots of places in Italy that just look so beautiful. Everybody and their mother have been there, so I would love to get to do like my Italian summer kind of thing. And then the last place is honestly probably Greece. I think Greece is so beautiful. I would love to have a Mamma Mia summer. I would love to just like go island hopping, see everything that the different Greek islands have to show. The water looks beautiful. Greece is full of cats. I love to make friends with cats when we travel, so I feel like Greece probably is my third option. Now that my eyes are done, I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier setting powder. This is my little travel size of it, and go ahead and set my under eyes, maybe a little bit in my T-zone. Down here where I've got a little bit of acne, I'll probably set over that. And I like to just use this little pointed powder puff to get up in those corners. This one is asking for my top comfort shows and my favorite books. I feel like that's kind of hard. I used to love watching TV, and then I started reading more again. I had a hard time reading when I was in school, just because I was having to do so much like reading. It wasn't like an escape for me, but now that I'm not in school anymore, I have picked reading back up and I love it. So definitely like my top #1 comfort show is Gossip Girl. I started watching Gossip Girl when I was 16, just had a really bad breakup and found it in that summer when I like wasn't getting out of bed very much because I was low-key depressed. But watching the like Blair Waldorf, Chuck Bass love story develop, it really like helped me step into that like you got it bad girl kind of like energy of like a man is not going to like take me down, I'm just gonna bounce back better, make everybody wish that they were me, like that kind of energy. Blair Waldorf is not great for a lot of things, but for making you feel like that, she's good for that. And then since that first watch, I've probably watched through Gossip Girl like 6, 7 times at this point. Like, it used to be like in every summer it was time to watch Gossip Girl again kind of thing. We got like halfway through with Kevin watching it, and then I don't know, I think I got bored and was ready to move on to something else, so we didn't like finish it out. So he does not know how it ends. We need to circle back to that one. I'm gonna go in with this Morphe Micro Brow Pencil. It's got just like the nicest little tiny tip that is just perfect for like drawing little hair strokes. I did just get my eyebrows remicrobladed, so they're feeling pretty good, but I like to just touch up in here a little bit more and then just take my tail to make it a little bit stronger. I would say another one of my comfort shows is probably Vampire Diaries. That's another show that I've watched through several times. It's like a really good fall show. Another show that Kevin and I started watching and we did not finish. So come this fall, we're going back through it. And then low-key, another one is Gilmore Girls. I had never watched Gilmore Girls before last fall. So that's just a really good, it's a good feel-good show. It's a good like small town, makes you feel good kind of show. So I think I will need to be adding that into just my like mindless watching in the background come this fall again. I'm really excited for fall, and that is just so annoying to me because I feel like we're always wishing away the season that we're currently in, ready for the next season. Like, I am a summer girly. I love summer. I love warmth, swimming, being outside, going to the beach, like all of that. And so the fact that I'm just like wishing that away, ready for Halloween and cozy weather and fall fashion and that kind of stuff is just so annoying to me, but such is life in our society. So after I fill my brows in with that, I like to go in with the e.l.f. Brow Lift. This is a dupe for the Anastasia Brow Freeze, I'm pretty sure. I just take a little spoolie, dab it in here, and it helps like with the laminated brow look. My favorite books is a different story. I mean, I've always loved to read. I like remember we used to like sit in bed when I was in kindergarten. My mom would read me the Junie B. Jones books. Like, I have always loved reading, but I feel like the first like series I was really obsessed with was the Harry Potter series. I remember reading those back in 6th grade. My aunt actually took me to see, I want to say Order of the Phoenix, and that was the first Harry Potter book I had seen, and so she had to like give me, or first Harry Potter movie I had seen, she had to give me like the whole rundown of what had happened, and she read all the books up to that point. The 7th book hadn't come out at that point, but like, and so I was like mad at Snape in that movie, and then she was like, but it gets better, and she like spoiled how book 6 ends up for me at that point. But I loved Harry Potter, and I still kind of do, but it's not my entire personality, which is I think where some people get in trouble. Also, J.K. Rowling is just like extremely problematic right now, so don't really subscribe to that, but I do love her books. I love all of Sarah J. Maas's books, the whole universe. I just love them. Truthfully, I like the ACOTAR series first, then probably the Crescent City series, and then probably Throne of Glass, but I listened to ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, and I only read the Crescent City books, and so that's why I'm excited to do the ACOTAR read-through with Kevin, because I'll actually be able to like read through them. So I'm wondering if that will change my experience actually like reading the books, not just listening to them, but I love all of the stories. But I definitely like Rowan better than I like Hunt, even though I like Crescent City better than I like Throne of Glass. And then my like current favorite books are the Fourth Wing books. I just haven't felt that way about a fantasy book in quite some time. It just really does it for me. I like the newness of the world. I like the dragons. And I also think it's kind of fun that all of the books aren't out yet, so I can't just like binge through them. It helps like build up the anticipation of like having to wait for the book and then getting to reread them so that you're like ready for the next one and picking up new details every time that you read through them. I love the Fourth Wing series. It's so good. All right, now that my eyes are done, I like to go in. Oh, you can't even see anything. I've had this for so long. So this is the Flash Cat Eye Infallible Liquid Eyeliner by L'Oreal, I think? Yep, L'Oreal Paris. But as you can see, very, very worn off. There's like barely any writing on that anymore. And I do a cat eye pretty frequently, so that just shows how long these products last. So for a more soft glam look, I'm just gonna do like a really light cat eye. This question is, what is your go-to Starbucks order? Am I gonna be able to talk while I do this? I'm not sure. The answer was no, I could not talk during that. So I don't have a go-to Starbucks order. I don't like coffee. I don't really drink coffee at all. I have really become a matcha girl lately. However, I do not like Starbucks' matcha. It's a proprietary blend, which means they don't have to tell you like the proportions of what it is inside there. But the ingredients are matcha powder and sugar is listed as the first ingredient, so that should tell you something. Sometimes I will get like their matcha lemonade, add water with the lavender powder in it, and that's pretty good when you can get it like watered down, but it's just not good matcha. I can make better at my house, honestly. However, I do like a Starbucks chai, but it is a milkshake drink. They are so sugary, and I think that's the thing about Starbucks' drinks is that they're just too sugary for my taste. I just don't want to be drinking that much sugar as just like a drink during the day. If I want like a treat, that's one thing, but I can't just like drink that as my morning coffee drink or whatever. Along those lines though, I do like the refresher drinks. I will get like their Paradise drink, which is the like pineapple passion fruit drink with coconut milk. I think that's very good, and it does have the green tea extract in it, which gives you a little bit of caffeine. I will sometimes, like when we're traveling, I'll get that with a ham and cheese croissant, and that's a good little snack. What did I tell you? I literally cannot do my mascara without getting it all over my eyelids. I don't know how people do it. That's not for me. So we'll just grab a little Q-tip and clean that up. Then my last little makeup step is I like to add this Revolution Beauty highlight just kind of on the cheekbones, a little bit on my nose kind of thing. I like these little fan brushes, so just a little bit of sparkle to kind of top off everything of the look. And then no makeup look is finished without a bit of lips. So this has been my go-to lip combo lately. I start off with the Benetint, just regular lip tint, and then over top of it, I like to put the Dior Lip Glow Oil in Rosewood. And the last question is, what are your top goals for the rest of the year? And I feel like that's kind of a hard question. If you watched my vision boarding video at the beginning of the year, you saw that I kind of split everything up into categories. I kind of talked through it in my Setting the Tone for Summer video also. So one of my top goals this year was to read 36 books. And I think I am gonna hit that no problem. I am currently at 23 out of 36 books, and Goodreads says that I am 5 books ahead of schedule. So I should be fine to hit my goal. I put on my goals at the beginning of the year that I wanted to start doing some travel UGC stuff. And while I have done lots of travel like vlogs and that kind of thing, I haven't done a ton of UGC, so I would like to maybe get into that space a little bit more. I would love to do a Dior Beauty collab, so Dior Beauty, hit me up. At the beginning of this year, I set out follower counts that I feel like might have been a little too ambitious. I put 20K on TikTok and Instagram, and I just feel like, how do you grow on Instagram right now? I have no idea. But TikTok, I feel like I could hit 10K, but 20 might be a lot. And then I put 10K on YouTube, and like I said, my YouTube growth is just not going the way that I wanted it to. So that probably was a bit ambitious, but you know, we just keep on trucking. I wanted to do Pilates this year, which I have started. I wanted to get in a little bit more of a consistent workout routine. The consistency is the issue. I feel like especially during the summer when we're going and doing so many things, I have a hard time like consistently working out. I would love to get to the place where I'm like doing workouts on my own, and wherever we go I can do a little bit of a workout, and I'm motivated to do that, but that is not where I am yet, so maybe we can work on that the rest of the year. I would like to get on a better like sleep schedule. I've been staying up quite late the past little bit, so I would love to be getting to bed earlier, waking up earlier, making more use out of my days, having a more consistent like morning and night routine. There are definitely some goals that I have room to work on. I talked about that a little bit in my summer video, so if you want a little bit more in-depth look at what I'm working on the rest of the year, make sure to go and check that out there. But this is my finished like little soft glam kind of look. I think it turned out quite nice. I always feel nice and pretty. It's very simple. It's not like too heavy, so especially during the summer, I feel like I can go out and not have makeup melting off my face, which is always essential. So thank you so much for sticking around to this point in the video. If you did, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my page, turn on post notifications. I so appreciate you being here and consuming my content and just hanging out with me for a little bit and getting to know me a little bit better. I would love to just know a fun fact about you, so share that down below so that I can get to know you a little bit better. We can create a better community here on my page, and I will see you next week.